There is one line in the Stranger Things epilogue which kind of indicates that maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, Jonathan and Nancy are definitely going to get married. You see, their relationship is like they are madly in love, they respect each other, they love each other, but they can't be together because they are finding themselves. And this is such a classic trope in any love story which we see, which starts from school or college where you are just trying to figure yourself out. And the case of Nancy and Jonathan is definitely going in the same direction, where they can't be with each other at this point in time because they are finding themselves, and when they find themselves, they are definitely going to attract back to each other and definitely going to marry. I'll explain to you how in this video, so sit back, relax. This is going to be a very interesting one. Let's start. First, we have to talk about how did they come together? How did they started dating each other? The main reason why even these two people came in contact was because of Will Byers went missing. That's not enough, but the word they use here is shared trauma. Shared trauma is something that brought them together, and shared trauma is again something that kept them together when they were not supposed to be together, and hence their relationship grew in a very bad state, and at the end they had to call it off in a very, very, very romantic way.
You mean our shared trauma?
Yeah, it's like this ties us together forever. It made me feel safe, but also...
It can be suffocating.
Yeah.
In season number 2, they start dating, and in season number 3 itself, we start to see signs of why they are not fit for each other. You see, Nancy has always been in that bubble of her own life, that, you know, her privileged life, and we even get a mention of this in season number 1, where Jonathan points this small little detail out.
I was thinking, Nancy Wheeler, she's not just another suburban girl who thinks she's rebelling by doing exactly what every other suburban girl does, until that phase passes and they marry some boring one-time jock who now works sales, and they live out a perfectly boring little life at the end of a cul-de-sac, exactly like their parents, who they thought were so depressing. But now, hey, they get it.
Nancy thinks that she is a rebel, but she has not really entered the real life. She has not really entered the real world. And the indication of this we get from a conversation from season number 3, when because of Nancy's relentless pursuit of the cat story, they get fired from their summer job. And for Nancy, it's just a summer job. She even says that it's just a summer job. It's not the end of the world for you.
It's a summer job. Your life is hardly over.
But for Jonathan, it's much more than that.
I don't live in a 2-story house on Maple Street. My dad doesn't earn 6 figures. Hell, he isn't even around.
Jonathan has to take care of himself, his family, his finances. They don't have a lot of money.
Mortgage, college tuition. You know, they're real things, Nancy. Things that you don't care about only because you don't have to.
Jonathan has to grow beyond his years at a very young age. But at the same time, Nancy is completely detached from this world, and she even says that I didn't know I lived in a bubble.
I didn't realize I lived in a bubble.
Well, you do. You want everything handed to you on a silver platter. I mean, we were interns, Nancy.
She has her own bubble, and this is just about season 3. In season 4, things get escalated. In season 4, during the spring break, we get to know that they have applied to colleges, of course, but Nancy wants to go to Emerson, but Jonathan doesn't want to go there.
But you're going to Emerson with Nancy.
No, I'm not. She just doesn't know it yet.
I mean, Nancy might have asked him to, both of us will apply at Emerson, we'll go to college together, we'll have this dream life later on. But with Jonathan, it doesn't sit well, because Jonathan at that point in time was living in California, was living in Lenora, and he had to take care of brother, now a sister as well, and of course his mother, and he also didn't want to chase that dream. For him, moving out of his family's house and going to Emerson was not the ideal thing for him.
I can't leave my mom and my brother to chase a dream that isn't mine.
You're dead, man. You are so dead.
Yeah, there is also a problem of communication, because they didn't really communicate their feelings to each other. Jonathan would have just said that, okay, I can't go to Emerson, and Nancy would have maybe been upset, but she would have come around. She would have said, okay, I can understand you can't go to Emerson with me. We'll still stay in touch. And I can understand why that is so difficult to talk about, because it is definitely meaning separation, and it often leads to long distance, and it often leads to breakup. So we can all understand that. But then the world split into 4 after season 4, and they had to be together in a quarantine.
But then
The world split in 4.
And there they really couldn't talk to each other about that stuff. And of course then we had Steve in the picture, which is one of the reasons why Jonathan didn't really like him even more, because he thought the distance between them was because of the entry of Steve. But of course it was not the case. It was always the case of them being together because of the shared trauma, but that shared trauma also kind of brought some space in them. But now let's talk about the main thing, their breakup scene. Or should I say their unproposal or unmarried scene. It was beautiful anyways.
Do you accept my unproposal?
Whatever I have said up until now of the shared trauma, that is exactly what was said in this scene. And you can clearly see and sense that how much they are in love with each other. But the timing isn't perfect. And by timing I mean they need to find themselves, especially Nancy. Jonathan knows maybe what he's doing and what he wants to do, but for Nancy wants to find herself. And they both are very happy. This is a very proper mutual breakup, but it's not over. 18 months down the line when their reunion happens, and in this epilogue there is one line which Nancy says, and it was just a very full circle moment for their journey and also an indication of why they'll definitely marry. This is the scene.
I took a job at the Herald, which it sounds fancier like that. It's a trainee position. Thought I'd maybe get out there and try the real world.
Here she mentions about Herald and getting into the real world. And this is exactly what Jonathan indicated in season number 3 and kind of in season number 1 as well, about Nancy getting out of her bubble and facing the real life, not being like her mom. But that look that they share just sealed the deal for me. It just sealed the deal. It just shows how much Nancy has come forward, how much Nancy has grown. Nancy is doing now what Jonathan would have liked her to do in season number 3. It is just a classic trope of timing here. They both of course love each other, they will love each other, and now their timing is getting on the right side. I love that. These are all just my thoughts and this is just what I feel. Tell me in the comments what are your thoughts about this. Tell me in the comments what do you think about this. Subscribe to the channel for more Stranger Things content. I have made a ton of videos already. You can check this or this or this or whatever video you wanna like. And as always, thank you so much for watching.